Reading quotes and life lessons is like exploring the depths of wisdom from the greatest thinkers of the past. Discover profound insights that can shape your life. And who better to guide you than Arthur Schopenhauer, a renowned philosopher whose words continue to inspire and enlighten.
Each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death.
This quote emphasizes the cyclical nature of life, comparing each day to a miniature version of the entire human experience. It encourages us to appreciate the daily opportunities for growth and renewal.
If you feel irritated by the absurd remarks of two people whose conversation you happen to overhear, you should imagine that you are listening to a dialogue of two fools in a comedy.
This quote encourages us to adopt a lighthearted perspective when faced with frustrating situations, reminding us that sometimes it's best to view conflicts as comical rather than taking them too seriously.
Newspapers are the second hand of history. This hand, however, is usually not only of inferior metal to the other hands, it also seldom works properly.
This quote reflects a critical perspective on the role of newspapers in shaping historical narratives, suggesting that they are often unreliable and ineffective in accurately conveying information.
Great minds are related to the brief span of time during which they live as great buildings are to a little square in which they stand. You cannot see them in all their magnitude because you are standing too close to them.
This quote suggests that it is often difficult to fully appreciate the greatness and impact of influential individuals or structures because of our close proximity and limited perspective. It encourages us to step back and take a broader view to truly understand and acknowledge their significance.
But truth acquired by thinking of our own is like a natural limb. It alone really belongs to us.
This quote encourages us to think independently and emphasizes the value of personal experiences and knowledge. It reminds us that true understanding comes from our own thoughts and perspectives.
Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to read them in, but as a rule, the purchase of books is mistaken for the appropriation of their contents.
This quote reflects the importance of time management and the misconception that owning books equates to knowledge. It reminds us that true learning requires not only access to resources but also the dedication to engage with them.
Hatred is a thing of the heart, contempt a thing of the head.
This quote provides a thought-provoking insight into the different emotions of hatred and contempt. It suggests that while hatred stems from deep emotional feelings, contempt is more rational and intellectual in nature.
Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head.
This quote draws a distinction between two different emotions, hatred and contempt, and suggests that each originates from a different place within us. It highlights the complex nature of human emotions and the different ways in which they manifest.
Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection.
This quote suggests that every time we say goodbye or separate from someone, it reminds us of the inevitability of death, while every time we come together or reunite, it gives us hope and a glimpse of new beginnings.
Obstinacy is the result of the will forcing itself into the place of the intellect.
This quote suggests that stubbornness or inflexibility arises when one's determination or resolve overrides logical reasoning or intellectual analysis.
The animal lacks both anxiety and hope because its consciousness is restricted to what is clearly evident and thus to the present moment. The animal is the present incarnate.
This sentence emphasizes the simplicity and contentment found in living in the present moment, without the worries and uncertainties that come with anxiety and hope.
Talent works for money and fame. The motive which moves genius to productivity is, on the other hand, less easy to determine.
The author suggests that while talent may be driven by external rewards, the motivation behind genius is more complex and elusive.
It takes place, by and large, with the same sort of necessity as a tree brings forth fruit, and demands of the world no more than a soil on which the individual can flourish.
This quote presents a metaphorical comparison between the growth and development of individuals and the natural process of a tree bearing fruit. It suggests that individuals require a supportive environment to thrive and fulfill their potential.
The poet presents the imagination with images from life and human characters and situations, sets them all in motion, and leaves it to the beholder to let these images take his thoughts as far as his mental powers will permit.
This quote suggests that the poet's role is to provide a platform for the reader's imagination to take flight and explore the depths of their own mind. It encourages us to embrace the power of our thoughts and let them wander freely, as they have the potential to take us on incredible journeys of self-discovery and understanding.
Opinion is like a pendulum and obeys the same law. If it goes past the center of gravity on one side, it must go a like distance on the other, and it is only after a certain time that it finds the true point at which it can remain at rest.
This quote provides a metaphorical representation of the cyclical nature of opinions, suggesting that they swing from one extreme to another before eventually finding a balanced position.